everybody. I hope that you are well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 4 English lesson on subordinating conjunctions. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once we've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English Language Arts, grade 4, and then we're going to scroll down up until we get to the chapter of subordinating conjunctions. All right, so our chapter is subordinating conjunctions. Our subject is English Language Arts. Grade 4. And the lessons that we're going to be focusing on under the chapter of subordinating conjunction is to identify subordinating conjunctions and to use subordinating conjunctions. All right. So firstly, in our previous lesson, we did coordinating conjunctions, right? And we said coordinating conjunction, it is used to join either two simple sentences, two phrases, it can even be two subjects, right? That it joins. And a coordinating conjunction is and, but, or, and so. Those are the most common and simple ones. So now we are going to subordinating conjunctions. And subordinating conjunctions, right, are used to connect two simple sentences in a special way. And the conjunction after, right? So basically, subordinating conjunctions are used to connect two simple sentences, right? So we're going to find out what those subordinating conjunctions are. So the conjunction after, right, and before, they tell you when something happens. So one of our subordinating conjunctions are the word after, and it is before, and they tell us when something happens. For example, I need to return this book before the library closes. So the word before, it tells us when something happens, meaning that before the library closes, the book needs to be returned. All right, then the conjunction as and while, right? So as and while, they tell you two things that happen at the same time. And for example, it says, as we lie on the grass. So as we lie on the grass, we look for shapes in the clouds. So it's basically like same thing happening or two things happening at the same time. It's like you're lying on the grass, but at the same time, you are looking at shapes in the clouds, right? So as we lie on the grass, we look for shapes in the clouds. And then another one is my brother likes to listen to music while he does his homework, right? So he's doing two things at the same time, listening to music as well as doing his homework. And that is the conjunction as and while, or how we use it. Then we have the conjunction until, right? And the conjunction until tells us how long something takes or how long something lasts, right? And an example of the conjunction until, right, which tells us how long something lasts or something takes, it says, my mom told me to wait until she comes back. So my mom told me to wait until she comes back, right? It doesn't necessarily give us a specific time, right? But it basically just it's just you having to um it just shows you how long something takes. It can be soon, it can be later, it can be longer, right? And then we have the conjunction because and we have the conjunction since, and they tell us why something happens and why something is true. And an example of the conjunction because and since, which tell us why something happens and why something is true, it is I was late to school because I forgot to set my alarm, right? So it basically tells us why something happens and why something is true. All right. And then another example, right, is since I left my phone at home, I have to borrow my brother's. So since I left my phone at home, I have to borrow my brother's. All right. And then we have another one, which is the conjunction unless, right? And the conjunction unless shows an exception, right? So it shows an exception. It says unless it's cloudy tonight, we will see the full moon. So unless it's cloudy tonight, we will see the full moon. And then we have the conjunction although, which shows surprise or contrast, right? Although she was sick, my sister still went to school. So although she was sick, my sister still went to school. It shows surprise or it shows contrast, right? So this is subordinating conjunctions. And we said subordinating conjunctions are used to connect two simple sentences in a special way, right? So now we're going to aplusstudents.ca, where we are going to be doing our tutorial lesson and then our test. So we're going to identify subordinating conjunctions. And we literally went over our subordinating conjunctions, and I said it is used to connect two simple sentences in a special way, right? So we're going to do our activity and then we're going to our test. It says select the subordinating conjunction within the sentence. It says this pear bruised because it fell on the floor. So this pear was bruised because it fell on the floor. So we need to select the subordinating conjunction within that sentence. And if we were to select the subordinating conjunction, right? And then we will choose because, right? Because that is the word that connects that two simple sentences. So this pair is bruised because it fell on the floor. So because is our subordinating conjunction. The next one says, unless mom has the day off, we'll go to dad's house. So we need to select the subordinating conjunction within that sentence. So unless mom has the day off, we'll go to dad's house. All right. So we will say unless. So unless is our subordinating conjunction. So unless mom has the day off, we'll go to dad's house. So unless is our subordinating conjunction. All right, we need to select the subordinating conjunction. It says Mia knew the alphabet before she turned 3 years old. So Mia knew the alphabet before she turned 3 years old. And if we were to select the the subordinating conjunction, it is before. All right. So now we're going to our test, and this is where we are going to identify the subordinating conjunctions. Yes, well done, guys. Well done. All right, so now we're going to the test, right? We're going to begin the test where we're going to identify subordinating conjunction. It says Mia knew the alphabet before she turned 3 years old. We need to select the subordinating conjunction. Is it the or is it before? The or before, the subordinating conjunction. So Mia knew the alphabet before she turned 3 years old. Is it the or before, the subordinating conjunction? All right, and if we were to select the correct answer, we would say it is before, right? So well done. Before is correct. So before is a subordinating conjunction. Well done. Although Janet was nervous, she performed beautifully in the play. So we need to select the subordinating conjunction. Is it although or is it she? Although or she. Although Janet was nervous, she performed beautifully in the play. Remember, we must only choose one word, right? Only the subordinating conjunction, like one word. So the options that is given to us. So we need to choose either although or she. No. Guys, remember a subordinating conjunction, it joins two sentences in a special way, right? She is a pronoun. The is an article. So if we were to select the coordinating conjunction, then we would choose although, right? So well done. Although is correct. Option one. All right, let's go to the next one. The next one says select the subordinating conjunction. Unless mom has the day off, we'll go to dad's house. So unless mom has a day off, we'll go to dad. The is not a subordinating conjunction. So is it unless, which is our subordinating conjunction, or go? The is not a subordinating conjunction. The is an article. Yes, that is correct. And now let's go to the next one. It says, unless mom has the day off, we'll go to dad's house. All right. So if we were to choose the correct one, then yes, we will choose option one, which is unless, which is our subordinating conjunction. So well done. Option one or unless is our subordinating conjunction. Well done. Unless that plant gets plenty of sun, it won't grow well. So unless that plant gets plenty of sun, it won't grow well. Is it unless or it? So, unless that plant gets plenty of sun, it won't grow well. Not it. And if we were to identify a subordinating conjunction, it will be unless, right? So well done. Unless is our subordinating conjunction, not it, right? The nurse will read to Cole until he falls asleep. So the nurse will read to Cole until he falls asleep. So the nurse will read to Cole until he falls asleep. Is it until or he? All right. And if we were to choose the correct one, we will say it is until, right? So until is a subordinating conjunction. So well done. All right. It says before we go sailing, we will check the weather. Before we go sailing, we will check the weather. So before we go sailing, we will check the weather. So it's either before or it is we. Either before or we. We is a pronoun. So it's either before, you must either choose between before or you must choose between, yeah, we need to choose between we and before. Which one is the correct one? We or before? So which one is your option? Is it we or is it before? Nope, until is not there. We are by before we go sailing, we will check the weather. All right, and if we choose the correct one, we will choose before. So well done. Before is our subordinating conjunction. All right, so well done, guys. Let's go to the last one and then we're going on to the next lesson. It says, until your room is clean, you can't play computer games. So until your room is clean, you can't play computer games. So until your room is clean, you can't play computer games. We either need to choose the correct answer that is between either until or it is your. We are now by the next sentence already that says, until your room is clean, You can't play computer games. We know by that sentence. So you either need to choose between until or you need to choose between your. All right, and if we were to choose the correct one, we will choose until. So until is correct. So well done. Until is correct. All right, now we're going to the next lesson, which is to use subordinating conjunctions, right? So now we're going to use subordinating conjunctions. And remember, we said subordinating conjunctions are used to connect two simple sentences in a special way, right? And our subordinating conjunctions are after, before, as, while, until, because, since, unless, although. That is the subordinating conjunctions. So now we are going to use the subordinating conjunctions. We're going to use these words, which is after, before, as, while, until, because, since, unless, or although, to complete the sentences. So it says, complete the sentence better conjunction. It says, Kenny played the drums better. He started taking lessons. So we need to choose the correct conjunction. So Kenny played the drums better. He started taking lessons. So we need to choose or select or use the best or the better conjunction. What is the word that is missing? It says Kenny played the drums better. He started taking lessons. Is it after he started taking lessons? Before he started taking lessons? As he was taking lessons? While he was taking lessons? Until? Because, since, unless, or although he started taking lessons? When do you start getting better? Is it before or after you do something? Yes. So which means that we will say Kenny played the drums better after he started taking the lessons. So well done. After is correct. After, right? So after is correct. So it says Kenny played the drums better after he started taking lessons. So after is correct. It says Jane said good night to her dad. She fell asleep. So Jane said good night to her dad. She fell asleep. When does one say good night to your parent? Before or after you fall asleep? All right. And if we were to choose the correct one, then we would say Jane said goodnight to her dad before she fell asleep. So well done. Before is correct. So before she fell asleep, right? The clown judged. Oh, juggled. Sorry. The clown juggled. He rode on the unicycle. It's like doing two things at the same time. The clown juggled. He rode on the bicycle on the unicycle. Do we say yeah it says doing two things at the same time? Do we say the clown juggled as he rode on the bicycle or while he rode on the bicycle? Which one is correct? While or as? All right. And if we were to choose the correct answer, we will say the clown juggled while he rode on the unicycle. So well done. While is correct. All right. So now we're going to our test. It says Simon mixed the pancake batter. Do we say before he scooped it into the pan or although he scooped it into the pan? We need to choose either before or although. It says Simon mixed the pancake batter before he scooped it into the pan, or do we say he mixed the pancake batter although he scooped it into the pan? So Simon mixed the pancake batter. Do we say before he scooped it into the pan or although he scooped it into the pan? All right, and if you were to choose the correct one, we will say Simon mixed the pancake batter before he scooped it into the pan. So well done. Option one is correct. Before is correct. All right, then we're going to the next one. Do we say while the store is still open, let's go grocery shopping, or do we say until the store is open? Until the store is still open, let's go grocery shopping. So while or until? Do we say while the store is still open, let's go grocery shopping, or do we say until the store is still open, let's go grocery shopping? And if we were to choose the correct one, yes, we'll say option one. While the store is still open, let's go grocery shopping. Yes, so well done. While is correct. All right, that says, do we say unless the fireworks were exploding overhead, Josh covered his ears, or do we say while the fireworks were exploding overhead, Josh covered his ears? So do we say unless or do we say while? So do we say unless the fireworks were exploding overhead, Josh covered his ears, or do we say while the fireworks were exploding overhead, Josh covered his ears? All right, and if we were to choose the correct one, we will say while the fireworks, yes, is were exploding overhead, Josh covered his ears. All right, so this is now the end of our lesson on subordinating conjunctions. And we said subordinating conjunctions, it joins two sentences in a special way, right? And some of our subordinating conjunctions were after, although, unless, until, before, right? And many more. But yeah, this is now the end of our lesson on subordinating conjunctions. Thank you very much, grade 4, for joining the class, and I really hope you're going to have a good weekend further. Goodbye.